Moving on. Jelmer in Holland. You're live with Eric and V.
Hi, Erica. Hi, V.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Doing good. How are you doing?
Oh. I'm fine, thanks.
Perfect. What can we help you with today?
Yeah, so
Thank you for
I'm
calling
a believer.
Talkie, then. How can we help you? Oh, sorry.
I know that my beliefs are irrational,
Okay.
All right.
but I can rationally defend holding an irrational belief.
Interesting.
Okay. Are we justified in holding irrational beliefs too? Even if they contradict yours?
So, the line is not very good. Can you repeat?
Sure. Just so I'm clear, are you saying that it is rational to hold you know your belief is irrational, and you think it's okay to hold an irrational belief? You can justify it, correct?
Sure.
Okay, what's your justification?
Oh, absolutely. Right. So your previous caller was talking about the laws of logic. And I assume you agree with me that the laws of logic are nothing more than conventions, right? So the law of identity, for instance, it's an inductive reasoning, result of an inductive reasoning. So you take a pear and you say this pear is a pear. It's not an apple or a banana or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then you take that idea and you expand it and you call it a universal law. You say this is the law of identity. It's just a convention that we use to be able to reason sensical with each other, right?
Agreed.
Right. Okay. So, but there are also situations where these kinds of inductive reasoning don't work. For instance, you can also take the barber's paradox. You know the barber's paradox. The barber is the one who shaves all those and those only who do not shave themselves. The question is, does this barber shave himself? Well, there's no answer.
The barber
to that question.
paradox.
Right.
Got it. Yeah.
Yes, sure. You've got the liar's paradox and the two-sided card paradox.
Sure.
And you could do the same as with the law of identity. You can take this paradox and you can expand it and make it a universal law. And you could say, well, this is the law of contradiction, which is the law of contradiction. The law of non-contradiction is only applicable if there is no unavoidable contradiction. Right?
Is only applicable if
there's no unavoidable contradiction, like in the liar's paradox or the paradox, or the barber's paradox. Sure. So now we have a universal law, one that says the law of non-contradiction, and we have another universal law that says here's the law of contradiction. So,
okay. So
what I want to say is that.
Hold on a second.
Well, yeah, the law of non-contradiction doesn't suggest that there are no contradictions or that we can't conceive of scenarios where contradictions would occur. It's just that based on what is existent in this world, we haven't seen one thing also be its opposite in reality yet. Doesn't mean we can't talk about the ideas of things being other things. We can talk about the idea of God being 3 in 1, but that doesn't mean that it denies the law of identity and non-contradiction.
No, but my point is that the laws of logic, they describe the logical part of what we know as the universe. Mm-hmm.
Well,
there seems to be
they're really good tools that have yet to fail us, right?
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah, except there also seems to be a dimension which is not where the laws of logic are not applicable. For instance, in the law of contradiction, like in the barber's paradox, like in the liar's paradox, or like in Gödel's
the law of
theorem.
Contradiction. Can you give me the law of? Because I know identity, non-contradiction, and excluded middle. Help me with the law. Are you saying that paradoxes can be thought of? That is the law of contradiction.
The law of contradiction is the law of the law of non-contradiction is only applicable if there is no unavoidable contradiction. That is the law of contradiction. It's a universal law.
So I don't think so, man. I think you can have the law of non-contradiction with one single item with nothing to contradict it. The law of non-contradiction is still applicable.
Well, how do you apply the law of non-contradiction on the Barber's paradox?
Sure. So basically, we're adding extras on, but let's cut it down a little bit, and let's start talking about a couple basic concepts. Right? A equals A. A does not equal not A. A cannot be A and not A at the same time. Right?
Sure.
Okay. So
Except
if we have
the Barber's paradox, right?
Oh, hold on. A is a single concept. You can add things onto it. You can bring up concepts, but that doesn't disprove the fact that A is A. A is not A, and A cannot be A and not A at the same time.
Yeah, you just quoted the law of non-contradiction.
Okay, so let's apply this to the Barber's paradox, right?
Right.
Okay, so give us the Barber's paradox.
The barber is the one who shaves all those and those only who do not shave themselves.
Right.
So the question is, does the barber shave himself?
Right. So how does that violate the law of non-contradiction?
Well, would you agree that the Barber's paradox is a contradiction?
Well, we definitely have a problem here, and that is that you have a law that's not feasible for the barber. Right? You can make some really shitty laws, and if you're going to follow those through, then you're going to find places where it breaks down. It breaks down. I agree that it breaks down, but that doesn't fundamentally justify, taking apart a fundamental aspect and understanding of the way the universe works. It just means...
I just ask you if the Barber's paradox is a contradiction. Is it a contradiction?
I don't think so. I think it's just bad law.
We're not talking about the law. It's the Barber's paradox. Is it a contradiction? I think so.
Well, so...
The liar's paradox. Is that a contradiction?
Everything, yeah.
The liar's paradox. This sentence is a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a contradiction?
I think it's a word that's nonsense. It doesn't make logical sense. You can apply...
Right. So it's a contradiction, right? There's no solution. There's no answer.
It just doesn't make sense, right? I don't...
Right. So there's no conclusion. There's no answer. You cannot go with it there. But it is a contradiction, right?
It's something that can't...
It doesn't make sense.
Okay. So yeah, it doesn't make sense. Let's apply this as we did earlier. The guy said that you can attach yourself to an electric pole and have powers, right?
Okay, so it doesn't make sense. Now
that doesn't jive with our understanding of how electricity works. Doesn't make sense.
No. Let's go. Listen, hear me out.
Okay.
So to get to the law of identity, for instance, you take a pear and you say this pear is not an apple, it's not a banana, it's a pear. And then you expand that and you make it a universal law of identity, right? So now we have here something that doesn't make sense. And we have multiple examples of it. We have the liar's paradox, the Barber's paradox, we have the two-sided card paradox. So we have here something that doesn't make sense. So why am I now not allowed to expand this, to make it a universal law that the laws... the universal laws of logic are only applicable when there's no nonsensical situation in place.
Sure. Okay. Let's go with that. If there's no nonsensical situation in place, we can apply the laws of logic. If you want to provide a situation that is nonsensical, then okay.
Yeah,
perfect. What's the value of that?
The value of that is that it seems to me that you can then say that part of the universe can be accessed logically, but there's another part that's not accessible logically, but is nonsensical. But it's it is a part of the universe.
Sure. There are books of fiction all over the place. It doesn't mean, yeah.
Right.
So what?
Great. So now I am a rational person, but I hold irrational beliefs, and I feel that I am more aligned with the truth of the universe if I have both those sides inside of me, right?
Why?
But why? Because we just agreed, I think, that part of the universe is not sensical.
No, we agreed that some concepts that can be brought up are nonsensical, and you haven't shown that there's any value to it. So why would I care?
So, repeat the last sentence.
Sure.
I didn't get it.
Okay. You know what we're going to do, actually? I'm going to pop you on hold. We're going to keep talking. Okay? I'm going to pop you on hold for just a minute. So, here's the deal.
Yeah.
I want to keep doing this show, and I want to move this to the Discord. So, if people want to keep listening and join us live, you can go to the Discord. There's a link that they're going to pop below, and we're going to finish taking these calls, and we're going to play this out because this is just a lot of fun. I'm enjoying this. I don't want this to end. So if you want to join us, you can go to that tiny.cc/ACA Discord and hop in and keep the party going. I think that sounds like a lot of fun. We got to make room for Atheist Vanguard here, so move over to that Discord so you can keep on with this conversation. Before